Hi, boys and girls. Thanks for joining me today for our second part of learning about literary language. Today, we're going to be understanding comparisons. So the comparisons that we're going to be talking about are similes and metaphors. Simile and metaphors are literary language that compare two different things using the words is, are, like, or as. The difference between the two is with a simile, you're saying something is like or as is as. So, for example, we have he is as fast as a rabbit. A metaphor is when you are saying something is that thing. So, for example, her smile is the sun. That is an example of a metaphor. Now, is her smile actually the sun? No. And he probably is not as fast as a rabbit. Authors use language like this because they want to make their books more interesting, rather than just saying, he is fast, or she has a nice smile. They add similes and metaphors to spice up their writing and make it a little bit more interesting. The book I'm going to have you all listen to today on YouTube is called Come On Rain. As you listen to the book today, I want you to be out on the lookout for comparisons. You're going to use your journal that you have been recording in from the other day, and you're going to write down similes and metaphors. Before you read the book, though, I'm going to go ahead and show you how that looks, and then I'll come back to this in just a second. So on your page, and you can go ahead and pause the video right now. On your notebook, you're going to want to write metaphor, and on that page underneath there, you're going to write a comparison of two unlike things that implies one thing is similar to another. On another page, so if this is metaphor, you could either do it on the back of the page before, or you could flip it over to the page that's behind it. But you are going to want to put those on two separate pages. So on the second page, you're going to write simile, a comparison of two unlike things using the words like and as. That's how you can tell the difference between the two. A simile will use the words like and as, and a metaphor does not use those two words. So in the book that I'm going to have you all listen to today, Come On Rain, I have a couple examples from the book that I'm going to share with you, and I want you to be on the lookout for as you listen to the story yourself. But one of the examples early on in the book, the main character, she says, I am sizzling like a hot potato. Now, is she actually sizzling like a hot potato? Or is she using that as a comparison to say that she's really hot? If you said comparison, you are correct. And if the authors use the words, I am sizzling like a hot potato, that's an example of a simile. That's not a metaphor because she's not saying she is a potato. Now, a little bit later in the book, almost towards the end, when it looks like this in the book, let's see, here's the pictures on that. When you get to that part of the book says, as the clouds move off, I trace the drips on Mama's face. Now, here's the comparison that I want you to listen to. Everywhere, everyone, everything is misty limbs springing back to life. So if we think about the limbs of a tree, it's saying that everyone, they were all droopy before, and now they're misty limbs springing back to life. Are they actually tree branches? Is that what the author wants us to think? No. She just wants us to have a picture in her mind or in our minds of people were worn out, they were hot, and then all of a sudden, as they get cooled off, they're back to life, they're springing, they have a bounce in their step, and they have energy. So today, as you read both your books that you have at home, your books that you have on Epic, on Raz Kids, and as you listen to this story, Come On Rain, I would like for you to make sure to jot down those comparisons. Another book that I do have linked in the comments for you to look at is called Quick as a Cricket, and this is by Audrey Wood, and I would suggest reading this one. It has especially if you're having trouble finding any metaphors or similes, this one is chock full of similes. For example, he says, I'm as happy as a lark. I'm as sad as a basset. So he is comparing himself to different animals, or she is comparing herself to different animals in that book. And I'd love for you to check those out. Happy reading.